Today I'm unboxing a new lens which I've got for my Panasonic cameras. I currently have this camera, or this lens, which is the 7 to 14 millimeter ultra wide angle f4 constant f4 lens. The other lens which I've got, which I think I'm sending it back because it just sounds really like it's grinding. Listen. It sounds better on this camera than it did on that. It just seems to be a bit, maybe just a bit not right. Anyway, and it seems to keep on focusing even after I've stopped touching it, which is a bit weird. So yeah, there's definitely something a bit funny about that. Anyway, the new lens, which I've got, is in here, and this should be the smallest, lightest lens in the whole entire world. This is like an impossible cube to get into. Like, I always try and not damage the packaging in case I need to send something back. But this has got so much brown tape on it, I cannot find a way in. Okay, I guess this isn't coming in like a display box or anything like that. Maybe that's what I've bought. But effectively, look, this is an absolutely astonishing lens in terms of what it is. So this is for a micro four thirds camera, and this is the 12 to 32 millimeter, which in terms of full frame lens distances, that's the same as 24 to 74. So so it's more than this. It's more than this. But 24 32 times 2. I'll start that bit again. In fact, how far back do I need to start that? So this is an astonishing bit of lens because when it's folded up, it's fully packed, and then when you bring it out, at its widest, it's 12 millimeters, which is that. There are a lot of other lenses for the Micro Four Thirds which start at 14 millimeters, which is that. To many of you, that's not much of a difference, but to me, every millimeter counts. So from 12 to 14, a little bit of difference there. But in terms of 12 to 32, you've got to think about that in terms of Micro Four Thirds. You times it by 2 to get the same kind of idea of what it is for full frame size, for the field of view. And that's the same as 24 millimeters, 24 up to 64 millimeters. So not quite the same length as this, but not far off it. 32 times 2, 62 going on there. But it has the extra 2 millimeters at the widest, which is what other lenses didn't have. There's a lot of 14 to something, lots of 14 something, but it's also, the actual lens, including this bit and the back, weighs that's astonishing. 84 grams. Can I just show you? Equivalent, not almost equivalent focal length, because that's an f2.8. This is a variable aperture, but 84 grams. My camera bag, it is gonna be so light compared to, if I'm doing wide angle, I've got that one. you know, that's 1.1 kilograms, that's like 390 grams. If I need kind of portrait walk around lens, instead of having this big heavy thing, I can have this unbelievably minuscule little thing. So let's stick it on and see. So that combined with the Panasonic G7, which feels like a solid camera, well, feels like a cheap and light camera, but good shape kind of camera, not a little finger point and shoot, it is astonishing. Okay, please rotate the zoom ring to extend lens. So it won't even let me do anything. I can't even take a photo until I rotate the zoom ring. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Now let's see. We've got the distance or the focal length markers we've got in this are 12, 14, 18, 25, and 32. So let's see what the differences are like. Focus speed, very fast. Ugh, get electronic shutter off. So 12, 14, 18, 25, and 32. The aperture at its widest, when the focal length is at its shortest. So when this is at 12 millimeters, this is at f3.5, which is a third stop brighter than what I'm shooting with my Panasonic GH4, which is always at f4. So that's handy. But as soon as you zoom in, oh no, even at 14 millimeters, it's 3.7. Only gets to f4 when you're at about 17 millimeters. Okay, so it's good at the wider section going on here. Now, how close can we go? So we'll start. There shouldn't be a difference of whether I'm fully zoomed out or fully zoomed in. I'll start with out. Let's see how close we can get to the Lumix sign on the camera. My last memory card just ran out of memory card space. I almost have a bit of a fear of deleting memory cards or like formatting memory cards. I always like put them in one computer and then put them in another computer and then I go, wait, have I definitely put it into that computer? I have such a fear of losing images. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, so we're getting closer. Still focusing on the Lumix. It is fast focus. Okay, so that's the closest we're going there. So that's the closest focusing distance. Or it's so far away. Let me just see here. Yeah, here. Yeah. Like I'm focusing on the dial of this camera. There. Now at the longer focal distances, so here I'm just going to go straight to 32. Boom. Boom. Ooh, so yeah, at the longer focal distance, we are going there. That's its distance. So again, if I'm focusing just on this little dial of my camera here. Really? No, that's out of focus. Yeah, so that's too close. So for macro work, I would say it's not going to be a macro lens. In terms of speed of like focus, where we're going boom to boom, that's just astonishing. Right, okay, I need to do a quick test in good light. So from like I was doing that faster than what I could see. Wow, okay, astonishing. So this is the kind of most recent lens, mini lens, and it's a pancake lens. and for walk around, you are dealing with something which is incredibly light, very easy to use, and if you were to put this onto any of the other Panasonic kind of smaller body cameras, totally pocketable. This for me is, this camera is not quite pocketable. Doesn't really go in there. But that's more because of the size of the actual camera, because I've gone for the bigger body camera. But if you're needing or wanting one with a tiny lens, but also in terms of lightness, so light. Again, if you're doing drone work where you've got like an octocopter or something like that, this 12mm, you're at f3.5, you're pretty much everything's in focus. I shall now do a quick thing. It's hard with Panasonic to do any sort of image quality test because their RAWs are cooked. Their images are in camera corrected for a lot, so it's not, a lot of times you can't see lens distortion or vignetting because the cameras all know any faults that the lenses have and automatically correct for it. At least that's exactly what I've been told. So let me see if we can see anything at this. So we're shooting at f3.5 on a grey wall, manual focus. And then do we see anything when we go to like f5 or f6.3? No. No. So unlike with other cameras where you're really reviewing vignetting, distortion, chromatic aberration, stuff like that, with the Panasonics you don't need to worry because it's already been corrected in camera, but yet you're still getting the raw files. It's just slightly, it's correct, I think that's the best way to describe it, it's corrected raw files. But it works, it's incredibly fast focusing. It's not the closest focusing, but in terms of my everyday shooter, what a lovely, light, highly functional, brilliant combo. Because I had somebody else offering to give me the 12 to 35 f2.8 for around about £400, and it's a brilliant lens, and it's an f2.8, and it's a little bit longer than this, and it's a solid construction and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going, it's like, this is for, I need lightness, and if I can stuff all this into, if I can stuff in, if I can get like another one as well, 2 camera bodies, a flash, and 3 lenses into an over-the-shoulder bag, that's more of a win than having to take my full camera rucksack and only have like 1 camera in there. So yeah, interesting times at the moment.
Stabilizer on, handheld at 12mm, at 12mm. Going for 10 seconds. Now at 32mm, stabilizer on, off.